2, 3, and 4. Count what you have now. Don't count what you don't have. Count what you have now. Don't count what you don't have. Find that you have so much.
Stands Online Summerfest. It's finally not Easter. But as was one of the consequences of the ritual that got rid of Easter, we have a new set of stands that stare into our souls while we're sleeping, awake, or wherever you may be. Very cool. But before we get into the finer details of this update, let's talk about the stuff that changed in-game, such as the addition of seashells. Seashells you can collect on the beach, and they're a currency that allows you to purchase the new event arrows. These being a ice cream cone and a sundae. The sundae of course having slightly higher stats and a higher chance to give you event bodies than the ice cream. They're quite useful, and as you can see they give quite good stats. That's not even the best sundae stand I've seen in a long while. That's actually on the lower end. So they're probably getting nerfed, so I would suggest you roll right now. This is the optimal time considering it's right before they get nerfed, which I think the devs have been hinting at. It's a 50-50. But if you're confused where the seashells spawn, here's a little photo I made showing the whole area that they can spawn in on the beach. You can find the beach by just jumping down towards the water. It's right next to the spawns. If you can't find the beach, then you may need your eyes checked. Looking at the update logs themselves, we can see that they're mentioning the event bodies that were added, which are pretty good to roll for since they have quite good stats. My friend actually got a Kokomo, or whatever the pirate one is. Insane for PvP. He went with Sun Immune because it had sword combat. Amazing combination. And there's the stuff about the ice cream and sundaes, and new stand High Priestess from part 3. It should buff wall creation. In my opinion. It buffs so many moves, but not wall creation, despite being the one stand in part 3 that actually, shifts land. I don't know. Just a suggestion, they should probably add that. Then, moving further down the list, we have the info that they added some heads back that weren't actually in the rolling pools, such as Diverman's head, so that was kind of a oofy. Then a buff to the duration of Future Sight on King Crimson Requiem's head. That's actually pretty cool. Should help a couple of the KCRs out there get a little bit more time for their future sight. That is a big nerf to Underworld. Oh, wow. Okay. Elder Coconut buffing future sight. The Elder giveaways are gonna get a value buff because of that. That's pretty cool. Then King Crimson Pierce the Heavens. Only 3 people have that, so that's not really gonna affect anyone. Then, moving further down the list, there's the long-awaited nerf to Vampire, which, after testing it out in-game, didn't really nerf it too heavily, so Vampire and Sun Immune stands shouldn't be too concerned with that. Then, Barrage hit stun was increased. I don't know if that was necessary. If the servers are laggy, the Barrage is still not gonna work. It's really just a Roblox issue. So that's Primary Bomb and Suits. Clone damaging themselves, then Future Sight on suits as well. Ooh, and they actually made the cooldown of the move start after the move ends. That'll help with spamming. That's good. But Primary Bomb on suits, that's going to be interesting, because that's kind of like a boosted life punch purely for spec builds, which give suits a little bit of an advantage with that bonus mobility. There could be some really toxic builds with that. Hey! Sizzle's actually going to deal damage again. If you didn't know, it was kind of glitched before and dealt basically nothing, so that'll be good for stands that have Sizzle, which there's quite a few toxic builds with that, so that won't be too fun for PvP, but... Hey! Tree? Oh yeah, Tree's cooldown starts after the move ends. That also makes sense. Tree was insanely spammable, especially if you had a slightly longer duration, because you could just camp the tree, getting back a bit of your cooldown, and also not being able to take damage. It was very toxic. Bind Grab on suits? And Time Race? Okay. Well, those are pretty cool additions. Time Race on suits is definitely going to be interesting. There was a couple of giveaways that had that, and, well, they're definitely not weak, so let's see what people roll. They'll definitely lead to some pretty unique builds. Oh, I didn't read the second half. At least frames aren't going to be dropping, but that is some pretty severe nerfs to T, which are warranted. It is very strong. Well, it was very strong before the update. Gonna have to test it now, but the stun on top of the damage with the spam ability with only a 20 seconds cooldown, it was insane. So that looks like it might balance it, which will be pretty good for PvP since it was one of the more broken moves in the meta. So overall, looks like a pretty good update. I'm not gonna lie. They've definitely done a lot of interesting things with the event, including the inclusion of shells, which you can collect for items instead of having to just find them or buy them. But hopefully in the next update we see some more game modes, or things to do with our stance, kind of similar to Stance Soccer, because the game, truthfully, doesn't have that much content to keep players interested. So let's see what they do in the next update, but this one seems pretty good. There might be a part 2, I don't really know. I don't really know. We'll probably have to wait until Halloween for the next big update, and potentially, I'm hoping that's going to add some more content to the game, but this update seems pretty alright, so this update gets a solid 5 guys out of McDonald's. But that's all I really have to say, so I hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, I'm Shineryn. Thanks for watching.